Right then, just before we jump into this video, I've got to say a fond farewell to a very good friend of mine, somebody in actual fact who has been with me since day one of my vlogging. Every vlog I ventured out on, my friend has been with me, and very sadly I've had to move my friend on. I am of course making reference to my white Vauxhall Vivaro van. Yep, I haven't even retired her, I've sold her. She's such a good machine, I've sold her on. But I thought it's time that she needed an upgrade. Now, I've decided to stick with exactly the same make, model and brand because she's never skipped a heartbeat, never once let me down whilst out and about vlogging, ever. But what I have to say is, I've obviously bought a newer shape, etc. But I wasn't happy with the colour. I thought white was a little bit too outlandish. It was too bright. People could see you coming a long way off. I wasn't happy with the white van at all. So I decided to go a lot more covert. A lot more covert. This is my new van. Hell yes! She's a lean, mean, green snot machine. And my new wheels. Hi guys, and welcome to this week's video. I'm going to head down towards Spurn Point. All right. That'll be Lee pumping his bike tyres up then. I'm going to head down to Spurn Point to capture some amazing fine art landscape photography pictures. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. I'm going to try to. I'm going to prove to you that I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Gary, what on earth are you talking about? I'll explain it all in a second, but if you like your fine art landscape photography stroke seascape photography, then fingers crossed this is the video for you. So what on earth am I talking about? I'm a great believer in, and I always say this on my videos, if you know what you're doing and you're fairly proficient in post-production, you learn to see compositions differently. So that means from a nothing environment like this, with a little bit of forethought, I can frame the picture up, blend the horizon, and create what I consider to be fine art photography. And that's great, that's wonderful. And I always say that. However, there are times when that just won't work. And today is one of those days. So why is today going to be any different? Well, in actual fact, the weather report today stipulated that it was going to be 100% blue skies and minimal cloud. And that was going to be my point, or the point of this video. But as you can see, there are a few clouds, but it doesn't really matter, because the fact of the matter is I'm still right in what I'm saying. I'm gonna frame up a shot. I've timed it so it's now high tide, so every now and again you're going to get a wave that's going to come up and around the front post here, which is going to be brilliant, and I'm going to grab that shot. But there's this misconception, and maybe I'm partly to blame for this. There's this misconception that just because you blend the sky, the picture becomes a fine art landscape image, and that's not strictly true. There has to be a reason why you blend the horizon. So when I blend the horizon, for instance, I always do it when there's lots of clouds in the sky, because it sort of mimics a low-lying mist or a fog on the horizon, and that's when it becomes quite arty. At the moment, there's nothing but blue sky. So I can take a long exposure image here to flatten the water out, turn the sea into an ice skating rink. I can do that. But because there is no detail in the sky except for the blue sky itself, if I try and now blend the horizon into the sky, it's going to look very odd. I might be able to get away with something that I could attempt to pass as fine art photography, but when it comes, in my opinion, to blending the horizon, what I want to do is try and maintain as much detail in the sky and as much detail in the sea as I possibly can. Otherwise I would just go in there with a paintbrush and paint everything the same colour blue, and that's not what I'm trying to achieve here. So I'm going to basically test myself and test my theory as well. I'm going to line this up and I'm going to try and create the best fine art image I can, assuming that all it takes is the horizon to be blended and then the image becomes fine art. And I don't know, I might even surprise myself. We're yet to see. Now, because I've already captured some nice fine art images from here, just so the day's not wasted, I'm only going to try my best to create one image, just one attempt, that's all. And just so that the day then doesn't become wasted, I'm going to wander down the beach. There are loads and loads of groynes. There are loads of potential minimalistic style images that I can hopefully capture or certainly create something from. That's my thought process anyway. So if you're sick of seeing lots of photographs from this one area, then please stick with the video. Trust me, 2 or 3 minutes and then I'm off doing something else. In actual fact, these conditions are brilliant for me to demonstrate my thought process today, because it is quite literally just blue skies. There's a little bit of a cloud up there, but that's not going to make any difference whatsoever. In actual fact, it's such a high cloud, I'm going to have to shoot this at something like 8 minutes to affect that cloud, but I'm not even going to bother doing that. 2 minutes will suffice, 30 seconds will even suffice if I'm honest, but I'm going to shoot this at about, well, maybe 30 seconds to a couple of minutes. Let's have a quick look. I just shot a wedding over the weekend, so let me just get myself all set up. 2 second delay timer, and my ISO is on 4000. I just go to show what I was shooting earlier on. Right, so let's put you guys in camera first of all, just to show you my setup. And I do just want a basic setup. I think that will work quite nice. That main pillar slightly off center, it's aiming into the right hand side of the frame, and get that nicely leveled up. Now that's fine. Now ordinarily, if I was gonna create an image from here I'd be proud of, then I would come here when the tide height is a little bit higher. At the moment, every now and again a wave comes up and around it, and that'll do for me, if I'm perfectly honest. So that's going to be my composition, nothing too mad. One thing I don't like, I'm not keen on this post here, so I'm probably going to drop my tripod down a little bit lower or go a little bit higher. There you go. So I'm going to utilize that as my composition, something really simple, really minimalistic, and over a long exposure that's going to flatten that water out, and that's going to look pretty cool. But then it's about the association between the horizon and the sky, so the end of the sea and the sky. Fingers crossed we get at least one wave that comes all the way up and around. Oh, that's fairly close, but not quite, but no matter. All right, so I'm going to set my camera up to shoot this at a 30-second exposure and then a 2-minute exposure. Right, so I've decided I'm going to shoot this at a 2-minute exposure. Just want this in keeping with how I would normally have captured this image. And as I'm talking to you now, a wave has come up and around. Damn. So 2-minute exposure, so a camera's at 1/8 of a second, ISO 64, f14, and that is perfect. Let's bang a 10-stop filter in there, give it a bit of a wipe. And with my 10-stop filter applied, that is now a 2-minute exposure in the making. There's not going to be any water up and around. Even if we get a freak wave, over a 2-minute exposure is barely going to register, but that's not the point of this video. But at the end of the day, it'll still be a nice picture, but it just goes to show there needs more thought process, there needs to be more elements in the frame to make for a nice fine art image. But I am going to give it a go, and it'll either look really odd or it will look good. So let's let that 2 minutes play out and we'll see what she looks like. I've just created is still a nice image. It's a nice minimalistic, feel good, long exposure image. There's nothing wrong with it. It's quite nice. But I think it looks a bit odd because there isn't water in the front of this main post here. I mean, this main post is so characterful, it comes alive when there's streaky water around it, whether you choose to shoot that at a 2 or a 3 second exposure or an 8-minute exposure. It's still a cool looking subject when there's an ice skating rink around it, and it looks a bit odd at the moment because there's only sand around. So I think just to prove my point a little bit further, I'm going to go a bit closer to the edge of the water and just shoot the groynes going out at sea. It didn't matter really about the composition, I just want to ensure that I've got water all around the main subject, and it might make a little bit more sense. Yeah, I quite like this. This is quite nice, this here. Like I say, I'm just going to cut some of these groynes off on the left hand side, and basically it's just going to be a nothing picture with a few groynes in there. But of course the flat water is going to be all around these groynes. There's a stick in the water there I don't like. It's moving as the tide's coming in and out, so when the water's out I'm going to rush out and try and drag it in, because I don't want that ruining my picture. Although, to be honest, I could just aim a little bit further out to the right or miss it altogether. And of course what I don't want to be doing during a long exposure is standing close to the water on a long exposure, because that just won't work. Right, hang on. Yeah, I think something like that would work a treat. Now I do like that. I like the start, I like the finish of it, I like the composition. The side lighting at the moment is coming in from, well, it's behind me, so at the moment it's being backlit from this angle pretty much, and I think that's really, oh, it's emphasizing these groynes, it's making them stand out, and they look tremendous. So I think that'll definitely work, except wait, what's up? Except that definitely won't work. So I'm going to come back a bit further and zoom in just a little bit more. Oh, that caught us out. That caught us out. There's going to be another one as well. Wow. Right. Let's go back in again. Right, now let's take the picture. Oh, I might surprise myself here actually. 2-minute exposure, it's already pre-focused, and away she goes. You just gotta hope now we don't get another one of those crazy rogue waves. But fine art photography or not, this will still be a nice minimalistic style or themed image, I think anyway. This light is looking gorgeous. I've got to tell you, that picture, it looks really nice. The groynes just stand out and they just ooze detail. So it's ever so strange. I'm here trying to prove a point that you can't always turn up and expect to come away with amazing fine art landscape pictures. But of course, if it was that easy, then everybody would be doing it all the time. It would dilute the genre and then it wouldn't be exciting at all. But you know, as we all know, landscape photography is about conditions, and you can't plan for any of this. You've just got to turn up and make lemonade, as they say. I love that picture. So even if I can't create a fine art landscape image out of it, which I don't think I can, I still know I'm going to come away with an image that I'm going to be fairly proud of. And it's only a minimalistic long exposure image, nothing any more than that, but the conditions were mwah. But of course the conditions are only good because I'm here. What I mean by that is I'm not well. I'm really not well. I'm only saying I'm not well because I've got a bit of man flu. I'm not asking you to feel sorry for me, but my throat is killing me. Bizarrely, I'm still here getting excited about taking pictures. But on Friday I'm heading up to Glencoe. I've got a workshop to run up there, and then a few days after that I'm heading to Iceland for a week. So it was one of those moments I've had whilst lying down, feeling sorry for myself on the settee, feeling nice and warm and cozy and watching the TV and thinking to myself, I've got to shape myself and just get myself out and about. Hence the reason why I thought I'd come here today. Oh man, my throat's killing me. But anyway, yeah, all right. So if that doesn't deserve a like, then nothing does. Oi, you, like the bloody video. Right, look, on a serious note, just in case I don't get a chance to wander up and best laid plans and all that, I might just stick with a couple of images that I've got here. I really just wanted to get out of the house and give myself a bit of a shake, like I said a second ago. So do me a favour, if I don't go and capture any more pictures and I call this a video, then do me a favour, as always, help support that channel, give that like button a bit of a nudge, and if you're new here and you want to find your way back, then consider subscribing as well. I've got a fairly large back catalogue now, it just so happens. You never know, you might even like one or two of the videos in it. Till the next time, guys, thank you very much indeed. Oh, by the way, feel free to leave a comment. As a final thing as well, just want to say a massive thanks to my good pal Lee for a lot of the B-roll, a lot of his wizzy camera work that he was doing. And in case you were wondering, no, it's not a drone. All you drone complainers, it wasn't a drone. Cheers, Lee. How's my support crew doing? How's my support crew, all right?
Been better.
I'd like to give you a hand up, but this is good for the video. Are you all right? How's your back?
Oh, hey look. It looks like you've taken a hard fall. Call emergency. I'm okay.
Is that we've just spent the last, I don't know how long, riding up and down Dale, off-roading, up steep banks, sand, mud, across the sea, across the ocean. And of course you had to wait until we were on a perfectly flat bit of concrete, a flat bit of road, as you can see, before you decided to plough into me and come off worst. Organised sunset though, mate. Look at that. If ever there was a good time to have an accident, it's got to be now.